Les interviews du doc, c'est maintenant sur Vinylestimes.
Et ben voilà les amis, c'est avec un très 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 grand plaisir que ce soir nous allons échanger un petit moment avec André Andersen. Voilà, on va parler de Royal Hunt. Voilà, vous savez mon amour pour la musique scandinave, hein. La Suède, le Danemark, Royal Hunt, c'est quand même quelque chose. Voilà. C'est quand même un groupe qui a plus de 30 ans, 15 albums, quel plaisir. So André, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Royal Hunt, more than 30 years, 15 studio albums, and maybe one is coming. Wow.
Absolutely, and thank you for the invitation. It's such a pleasure.
So André, first of all, maybe a few words regarding Dystopia Volume 1. Since maybe December last 2020, this is your last release, and I see a lot of people who is waiting this album since many times. It's a great pleasure and a pleasure for everybody to listen again. One beautiful new CD records, and of course, what a pleasure to listen Dystopia. Wow.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I mean, the recording of Dystopia Part 1, I mean, it's been such a thrill with all the guests, you know, and the whole thing. I mean, the whole concept. I love this book, the Fahrenheit 451 by Red Bradbury. I mean, so for years, and I wanted to do something like that. But I mean, from year to year, you know, so you're doing different projects, you're doing different albums and touring and stuff like that, and it seems like time is never right to do that. But finally, between like 2019 and 20, I mean, the time was right, and everybody was ready to do that. You know, it was such a pleasure working on it. So here you go. You can already listen to it. I mean, it turned out pretty well, I guess. I think so, at least.
Bah voilà, donc la première question, elle était pour André de reparler du Dystopia qui était sorti en décembre 2020. Hein. Vous savez, c'est une histoire qui tourne autour de Ray Bradbury. Hein. Voilà, c'est quand même un superbe écrivain. Et puis il y a cette histoire qui est donc écrite et qui est sortie. Et l'album, comme il le dit, il a été produit dans une période un peu compliquée. Et puis il est disponible depuis donc 2020. Et normalement, le prochain Dystopia Volume 2 est terminé. Il est écrit, donc je ne sais pas quand est-ce que sera la prochaine date de sortie, mais on va en parler. Few days ago, André, you sent an email through Facebook and you indicate to the world that the Dystopia Volume 2 is coming.
Yeah, finally. I mean, we all know the last year and a half has been completely screwed up. And so, I mean, the original plan was to do the Dystopia Part 1 and tour a little bit and then release Dystopia Part 2. It didn't happen for obvious reasons. So just after the release of Dystopia Part 1, I mean, we just like went back in the studio and started working on the Part 2, which is the final part. The entire concept will be on 2 CDs. And we're planning, at least we wish, the album will come out in the spring of next year.
Wow. Et ben voilà une bonne info. Hein. Comme il le dit, ça a été très compliqué, comme tout le monde avec le Covid. Donc ils ont enregistré, c'était prévu de sortir l'album plus vite. Et puis en fin de compte non. Donc ils ont passé un petit peu de temps. Et puis normalement, il sera là pour, on va dire pour le printemps prochain. Donc il y aura donc un Dystopia Volume 2. C'est la deuxième partie de l'histoire. Et donc on aura cet album très rapidement. I think Henry, we speak about this difficulty to record something due to this strange period, COVID, pandemic, and something like that. I think it's a little bit difficult for you because you have a lot of people located in Europe and your singer is located in US. I think you can exchange some part by MP3 or something like that. It is very strange to record this Dystopia Volume 2 with this pandemic period.
Actually, we were very, very, very lucky on Dystopia Part 1 because, I mean, some of the guys, some of the singers at least, so we're living here. Because to tell you the truth, I mean, I really dislike this recording through the internet. I really don't like that. I mean, for smaller parts, it's fine. It's fine. But I mean, in general, no. So I mean, the entire album was recorded like face to face, because like the bass player, the drummer, and obviously guitar player was here in the studio. We were lucky playing the festival in Russia, I guess. That was the last gig we did, and DC went to Denmark just from there. That was just before the COVID hit. And so he recorded his parts here. So the only parts which were recorded through internet with Mark Bowles and obviously Mats Levin. And the Dystopia Part 2 will try to do the same thing. I mean, obviously, all the instruments, they'll be recorded. I mean, drums, bass, guitar, and keyboards, and so on, will be recorded here in my studio, as usual, face-to-face, all the band present. I guess DC will be able to fly to Denmark as well, because it's not as bad a situation as it was before. And with guests, we'll see. We'll see how it work out. But I'll say like 90% of the album will still be recorded in this studio with everybody from the band present.
Bah voilà, comme le dit André, hein, donc il aime pas trop échanger sur Internet les fichiers, c'est pas son truc, hein, comme vous l'avez compris, il préfère avoir tout le monde dans le studio, le bassiste, le batteur, le clavier, le chanteur, le guitariste, on balance les morceaux, on enregistre. Ça a été comme ça pour le numéro 1, hein, avec Mark Bowles, avec Mats Levens. DC était là puisqu'ils étaient en concert en Russie, donc il a pu enregistrer ses parties. Et puis pour la deuxième partie, bah, ça a été à peu près pareil, et donc ils ont réussi à enregistrer tous dans le studio. Et c'est quand même ce que préfère André. So André, it's a good news that you have a lot of time now to record this Dystopia Volume 2, because I think it's more easy when we have time to finish maybe the song, or maybe you put some new approach and something like that. But during this part of the creations, you speak just a few seconds regarding this working on studio. I think this is the essence of the Royal Hunt, to work together and not with the band located in different part of the world, for sure.
Yeah, that's it's always been like that with Royal Hunt. I mean, in that sense, we're very much old-fashioned. We like that. I mean, first of all, I mean, everybody in the band on a good terms and on a social level. I mean, we basically like each other. You know, it's just there's nothing new, but today it sounds like something, wow, very strange. We actually like each other, you know, so we like each other's company, and we always have a great time when we're meeting here in my studio. This studio is situated in my house, so we always do barbecue, and we have great time. We of course we do some work as well, but we do have a lot of fun on the side,
bah voilà.
You know.
C'est clair.
And I think it's a very important part of being in a band.
Yeah.
You know, so you together with your pals and you creating music, and it's hard to do it through internet. I mean, as I said previously, on some smaller parts, sure, it's possible. But in general, I think it's very important that people are together when they're creating something.
Et ben voilà, comme le dit André, hein, c'est voilà, la question c'est quand même l'essence de Royal Hunt, d'être tous ensemble et de travailler. Il dit oui parce qu'il faut être effectivement tous ensemble, il faut pouvoir travailler ensemble. Ils sont copains, ils s'entendent bien, et puis comme il le dit, hein, c'est quand même voilà, on est super en contact tous, et c'est quand même super sympa parce il a son propre studio, ils peuvent faire le barbecue, ils peuvent travailler un petit peu, et ils peuvent créer tranquillement. André, since 1982, the first release was Land of the Broken Hearts. Wow, yeah. It's a long time ago. Do you think now, with this new release, Dystopia Volume 2, you are at the right place at the right moments, since many, many years after Land of Broken Hearts?
Listen, if somebody told me back in 91, 92, what I'll be talking with anybody, with a music journalist or whatever, about my 15 or 16 or 17th album, I'll laugh at you. I will never, ever believe in that. You know, because when we were starting, I mean, it was like we were hoping just like to make an album. And then the second album came out, and then the third, and then it just keeps going. It's unbelievable. It just started so long time ago. And I would say for a band, of course, every single band wants to be a new, I don't know, like Metallica, whatever, and plays stadiums, and but are we at the good place now? I really think we are. As a band, I mean, we close, we enjoy doing what we're doing. It's never, ever been like a job to us. Even if you're working a lot, but it still feels like, I don't know, like a hobby in a way, and so, yeah, we are at a very, very good place as a band.
Ben voilà, comme la question a été très simple, hein. Le premier album de Royal Hunt, il est sorti en 1992, c'était le Lands of Broken Hearts. On va en reparler parce qu'il ressort prochainement en vinyle, et puis avec ce Dystopia volume 2, la question c'était effectivement, est-ce que Royal Hunt est à la bonne place maintenant? Ben, comme il le dit, quand on commence, on fait un disque, on en fait un deuxième, on en fait un troisième, on en fait un quatrième, et puis comme il le dit, c'était incroyable d'être là aujourd'hui, d'avoir fait tout ce chemin, et ils sont très très contents, et il dit effectivement Royal Hunt est à la bonne place. So André, just to make some memories at the beginning of Royal Hunt, because you have a lot of beautiful CD. So the first one, of course, Land of Broken Heart, just after Clown in the Mirror, Moving Target, 1996, Paradox, Fear, The Mission. Wow, what a lot of CD each year after each year. What a pleasure to listen all this CD. Again, thank you so much for this music, because it's part of my life, so I like it.
I'm so happy. I'm really, really happy with you saying something like that, because I'm meeting fans from time to time, and they tell me from which album they kind of like noticed Royal Hunt and started like following it. And sometimes it was like in the middle of our career, maybe from The Mission, or maybe from some other later album, Paper Blood, what do I know? Back and discovering some other albums they never heard of. It's such a cool thing, because I remember myself as a fan, I'm still a fan, of some of the bands. And when you just discovered a new band from the middle of their career, and then all of a sudden you're going back and you're realizing, God, I was missing so much. And it's such a cool feeling. So in one way or another, I actually envy a little bit those people who just discovering Royal Hunt for themselves, because they have possibilities to go back and discover so much more.
Bon bah voilà, comme vous l'avez compris, hein, moi je suis un très grand fan de Royal Hunt. Effectivement, il parlait à l'instant des albums, hein, qu'ils ont commencé en 1992, mais on a parlé de Land of Broken Hearts, on va en parler. Clown in the Mirror est fantastique, Moving Target, 1996, Paradox, Fear, Paradox, le Closing the Chapter. Voilà, il y a énormément de choses à découvrir dans Royal Hunt, et comme il le disait, des fois les gens commencent par Mission, Ice Witness ou Paper Blood, mais il y avait une palanquée de CD fantastiques à l'époque. And just few words, André, Lands of Broken Heart, it's coming back. You release a new version, a reissue of the first one. It's a good approach for the people who wants to discover Royal Hunt at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, this is because we didn't realize, actually, it was kind of hard to get hold on Land of Broken Hearts, and somebody just like noticed that, like on eBay, it was very expensive and this and that, and we said like, why? So we said like, why wouldn't we put it out? So again, just with extended version, with some bonuses on and with some extra pictures, and we actually went back and found the original photo session, and we found the original clips from different magazines and newspapers and stuff like that, and put everything in. So it's kind of like extended version, which is probably will be fun for fans of the band to go back and see, okay, here is how it started and what happened after, So I think it was a good idea. So I I got my copy not that long time ago, and I actually like that.
Bon bah voilà, vous savez les amis, le Land of Broken Hearts, il est ressorti parce que bah comme il le dit, il était hyper difficile de le trouver, hein, moi je l'ai, effectivement ils ont rajouté des photos, des démos, voilà pour que les gens découvrent ce qu'était Royal Hunt au début, et puis bah il est disponible, vous pouvez l'acheter, le commander sur Amazon, Spotify, vous l'achetez partout, et ça vous évite de payer une fortune sur eBay. And in other end, André, one of my different album from Ryan Hunt turned in LP. So you have a lot of vinyl, and I think the sounds from Ryan Hunt in vinyl is a little bit different with the CD, and I prefer to listen your music in vinyl for sure.
Yeah, so I'm a vinyl collector as well. I'm ashamed of that because everybody's laughing at me. But and they've been doing it for years and years. But now, in the last few years, vinyl became so popular, so that's my tour to laugh. So I still have a bunch of vinyls, and a few years ago we hooked up with this Italian company who printed our vinyls. And finally, I got the Land of Broken Hearts as a vinyl because it came out in '92. And by that time, back in the day, vinyls were basically out. So you couldn't buy them. So every single CD we did since then were just a CD. So now I've started getting to my collection all the vinyls, and I enjoy them that much. And I know, there's like endless discussion. What's better, CD or vinyl? It has nothing to do with quality. It's nothing to do with that. The main thing is, I just realized when I'm just like putting a vinyl on, I concentrate more on the music. If I'm listening to a CD and then the phone rings, I'll pick up the phone. I'll stop the CD. I'll pick up the phone. I'll take the call, and then I'll continue listening. The vinyls, I'll never do that. If the phone rings and I'm listening to a vinyl, I'll wait till this side A is done, and then I'll pick up the phone. It's just psychological. It's completely different. You concentrate. That's why I don't have like a huge vinyl collection, but I have a bunch of albums, and I enjoy them immensely. Because it's completely different, So it's like a difference between watching a movie on Netflix or going to the movie theater. It's as much as a difference. Yeah. You pick up the album, you go through albums, you find the one you want to listen to, you put it on, you have a glass of red wine, and you just enjoy it. There's no video there. There's nothing. There's no Instagram, no Twitter. No, it's just this vinyl. And because I'm working the music, so I'm not listening to music that much. So when I finally do so, I enjoy it, really enjoy it. It's like going to the movie, seriously.
Voilà, bah, comme le dit André, hein, donc que je vous disais, il y a beaucoup de disques qui ressortent en LP, en vinyle. Donc la différence, moi, j'ai plus de facilité à écouter le LP. Comme dit André, bah, lui, il dit qu'on est plus concentré quand on écoute les vinyles. Quand il y a son téléphone qui sonne avec le CD, il décroche. Quand il est en train d'écouter le vinyle, il décroche pas, il écoute jusqu'à la fin et il rappelle après. Il dit et il fait le parallèle. Effectivement, c'est comme avec quand on est en train de regarder Netflix et qu'on va au cinéma, bah, c'est deux mondes différents. Et je pense qu'il a raison, effectivement, on est plus concentré et on écoute un bel objet et on a l'objet entre les mains et puis on prend plaisir à écouter. Peut-être que c'est la grande différence entre le CD et le vinyle. En tout cas, c'est une bonne approche. On en discutera dans les prochains temps. André, another questions. Ryan Hunt, of course, it's a live band since many years. During this COVID, it's a little bit difficult for you because you don't have a lot of concert. So what is the plan now for Ryan Hunt after this maybe end of pandemic? Do you reschedule some show in Europe, in Russia, in some other country, and maybe we plan to fly to France?
That'll be cool, but the thing is, like we're taking it step by step. So by the spring, next year, we expecting Dystopia 2 will be out. And by the same time, we're talking to different promoters and hoping maybe in the spring we'll come out and play a few weeks of shows all around Europe. We hope so. Let's see how it will play out. Because I'm not the person who will just announce the dates.
Yeah.
And then maybe a month later or 2 months later, you say, oh, sorry, it's canceled. We'll move it. We'll wait and see how it will play out. But at least as of today, the plan is we're planning a bunch of shows in Europe in the spring and then a full-blown tour in the fall next year. And let's see how it's going to play out.
Yeah, for sure. Ah bah voilà, donc comme il le dit, hein, il n'est pas artiste à donner des dates et puis à annuler dans la foulée. Donc pour l'instant, focus sur la sortie du Dystopia Volume 2 et puis il discute avec des promoteurs pour effectivement voir si on pourra les voir en Europe, ailleurs. Mais pour l'instant, il faudra suivre sur la page Facebook pour avoir les dates et puis de toute façon, nous on suivra ça en espérant qu'ils viennent en France. André, in the end, you have a lot of history with my country, with France, because in a long time ago you worked with CNR and Nothing to Say with Olivier Garnier, and we have a chance to see you during some show in France. What memory we keep during this with this period with my country, with France, with Ryan playing some gigs in some town in my country?
Yeah, there was a bunch. I mean, I won't say we played that much in France, but we've been there a few times. We play a festival, I remember. It's been nice. I mean, really. For some reason, I don't think the French promoters loved us that much. So that's why recently we didn't play there. So we had some day offs in Paris. We did that, but I mean, we didn't play that much. But I really hope it's going to change. Maybe next year we'll have a chance to play there.
Bah voilà, donc comme vous le savez, il y avait une partie à l'époque où c'était Royal Hunt était distribué par CNR, Nothing to Say, NTS de l'ami Olivier Garnier, et puis il y a eu quelques concerts en France à l'époque. Comme il le dit, c'était un peu compliqué parce qu'il y avait des shows, mais il y avait pas mal de day off. Enfin, il espère que ça va changer. Et puis nous, on aura plaisir à les revoir, bien sûr, sur scène. André, some questions regarding 1986. This wonderful CD turned 25 years this year. It's a great pleasure to see that this is one of the album favorite of a lot of listeners, and I think it's a little bit particular, this one, no?
Which one? 1996?
Yep. 25 years today. Wow.
Yep.
This year.
It was a surprise on the day, because I remember we went to Japan and we were supposed to play a tour and the whole thing, and then the record company came out and said, you know what, we have an idea. We'll record it and we'll film it. And we wasn't prepared for that. So it was a little surprise. So it was a lot of like nerves involved in the whole thing. But actually, you know what? One of the main things, which actually, after the album's been recorded and released and the whole thing, and at some point in time, one of my idols, John Lord, keyboard player from Deep Purple, he was doing an interview, and he's been asked, about like newer music coming out. I'm not sure what year it was, like 97, 98 or something like that. And he actually mentioned 1996, and one of the better albums came out in the last 10 years. So now I can go to my grave completely relaxed. If John Lord said this album rocks, so I don't have to worry anymore.
Bon voilà, on parlait de 1996. Alors comme il le dit, c'était un album qui est un petit peu particulier parce que quand ils sont partis en tournée au Japon, le label a dit ouais c'est super, on va enregistrer et en plus on va filmer. Alors ils étaient pas prêts et puis il a croisé John Lord, le clavier bien sûr de Deep Purple et puis quand John Lord a écouté l'album, il a dit waouh ça c'est super, et comme le dit André, il va le garder jusque dans la tombe que John Lord il a été effectivement un grand fan de cet album et effectivement c'est un super album. Voilà, c'est Royal Hunt hein, quand même les amis et on prend beaucoup de plaisir à se dire que ce groupe reviendra toujours et on en profite. Another words regarding the vinyl from Clown on the Mirror because I bought this wonderful white vinyls and what a good idea to make some color on your vinyl, André.
Yeah, it's we were thinking about it for a while, so because a lot of fans were asking about it. Why don't you do like color albums? And I must admit, I mean, I'm not an expert in that field, So I asked the record company, is there any possibilities to do something interesting? They said, oh yeah, sure. I mean, this is by today. You have so many possibilities to do this and that, and it came out beautiful. Actually, and when I received it, I was used to like regular vinyls, the black ones, and then all of a sudden you have the colors. I mean, it makes it a little bit more special, the experience to have it.
Voilà, écoutez, si vous voulez acheter un magnifique vinyle, vous achetez le Clown in the Mirror. Il est blanc avec le logo Royal Hunt rouge, déjà la pochette avec le clown dessus, et il est magnifique. C'est un des meilleurs albums que moi j'ai trouvé en vinyle, c'est vraiment un super disque. Et puis comme il le dit, c'est vraiment spécial d'avoir ces demandes parce que c'est des demandes des gens qui ont acheté les vinyles de dire faites pas que du noir et profitez aussi pour nous faire des couleurs. André, just before we ending, and I have just one another question regarding live, Royal live. What is the difference between the European people and the Japanese people? Because you have a lot of concert in Japan, you have a lot of concert in Russia, and it's a little bit different when we come back in Europe, like of course France, UK, and something like that. What is for you the difference? Do you have a different approach when we play in Japan and Russia? When we play,
no,
or it is the same for you?
No. It is when you're playing a show. I mean, you playing with your friends to start with. I mean, you playing with your band. I mean, so approach is more or less the same. The reaction from an audience is a little bit different. I mean, mainly all the rock fans. They react in more or less the same way. I mean, there are obviously some differences there, but they're not major. So our job is to deliver what we do in the best possible way. And of course, I mean, you react to people reaction. It's two-way street, right? I mean, it depends how people react. I mean, it's like if you look at Japanese fans, I said they know every single word, every note. They coming to the show so prepared. It's unbelievable. And then so they react from the first second. And then you play in Germany. And it will probably take you 4 to 5 songs to see some kind of reaction. They kind of like checking you out. They're standing there looking at you, and they kind of checking you out. So there is like in Scandinavia, for example. I mean, the audience is very relaxed. I mean, they just like from the first song, they're into it. They show you, they like you, they like this particular song, whatever. I mean, it's very like easygoing, So there is some differences, between the audiences, but mainly rock fans, it's the same family. It's the same gestures, it's the same language, It's a huge family.
Ah voilà, comme il le dit, hein. La question a été effectivement parce qu'ils ont un fort public au Japon et puis en Russie ils jouent pas mal. Et puis quelles sont les différences entre les publics? Alors comme il le dit, au Japon quand ils arrivent, ils connaissent tout par cœur. Voilà, ils sont devant, ça surprend, mais c'est vraiment la famille. Et puis quand ils vont aller en Allemagne, il y a 4-5 personnes. Et puis après, comme il le dit, dans les pays scandinaves, mais ça c'est pour l'avoir vécu au Sweden Rock, des choses comme ça, c'est beaucoup plus cool. Et donc tout le monde s'aime et ça c'est une très très grande famille. Et donc on en profite pour faire un coucou à toute la famille. Alors. André, just before we ending, maybe we have to keep an eyes on your Facebook page to see the next step for the Dystopia release. number 2, of course, and for sure we keep an eye when it's possible to buy something for the Dystopia Volume 2, and this is for spring for sure. And maybe do you prepare something special? Do you think you prepare some blunders, or are you working now on the different approach for the fans, or it's a little bit early to speak about that?
A bit early, but in general, we always trying to figure out what kind of extras we can put on there, and so we're looking at the possibilities. Also, I mean, on some DVDs or some bonus material, we're always looking for something. But it depends on the fans, if you're interested in Royal Hunt, just go to the page. I don't care if it's like original page, like royalhunt.com, or it's like Facebook, Instagram, whatever. And just make a remark, whatever you're interested in. What would you like, So we, not immediately, but during the time, we're checking out what people are interested in, what could be fun. I mean, just like, don't forget, I mean, so first and foremost, rock music is about having fun. Whatever suits you. Just like, make yourself heard. And we just might do something what you like. You never know.
Never know. Bah voilà, comme le dit André, c'est très simple, hein. Vous allez sur la page Royal Hunt, sur la page Facebook. Si vous voulez quelque chose, bah vous mettez un petit message et puis ils regarderont s'ils peuvent le faire, ils feront. Alors peut-être il y aura un blundel, on verra bien avec le temps. Il y aura peut-être des choses avec des démos, des lives, des DVD, des live concerts, des bonus. En tout cas, ils travaillent. Si vous avez des demandes particulières, comme il le dit, vous mettez un petit mot sur Instagram, sur Facebook, ils regarderont, ils checkeront. Et puis bah s'ils peuvent le mettre dans le prochain CD, on l'aura. André, thank you so much for your time. It's a great pleasure and great honor to speak again with you. I really appreciate this time that you take for Vinyl Times, for Last Ride, for me in Paris. Again, thank you so much. The last word is for you. Do you have a message for the French listener?
Absolutely. I mean, guys, it's such a pleasure to talk to knowledgeable people like you, Olivier, and who knows the band, and it's great. In general, for fans, guys, we did the Dystopia Part 1, Part 2 is coming in the spring, and give it a listen, check it out, and it's easy nowadays, and I really hope by the spring, and or maybe both spring and autumn, so we'll see you down the road, because we're planning to. So, so far, stay safe, but continue to have fun. Please. Voilà.
Et ben donc le message d'André c'est clair, prenez du plaisir, faites attention à vous, venez écouter, venez acheter le prochain album, venez nous voir sur scène s'il y a une tournée qui vient, et puis surtout prenez beaucoup de plaisir. André, thank you so much. Tac, maybe.
Thank you, Tac. Thank you very much, and vive la France.
Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
Merci beaucoup. I'll talk to you. I hope to see you down the road.
Thank you so much, André. See you soon, and cross finger, and of course cross finger for the release of Dystopia Volume 2, and maybe we speak about this new release next year. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Stay safe, man. Have time.
Tu veux nous faire découvrir ton groupe? Envoie-nous bio, MP3 et info à contact@vinyltime.fr.